At 8:30, his BMW pulled into the parking lot. 10 minutes later, a red Mercedes arrived, and a woman with blonde hair stepped out. Even from a distance, I recognized Amanda Walsh, his colleague from the law firm. I watched them embrace in a way colleagues never would, saw him kiss her in the parking lot before they entered the restaurant together. My hands shook as I took photos with my phone, my stomach a hollow pit of betrayal and confirmation. I gave them 30 minutes before I walked into the restaurant. They were at a corner table, his hand on hers, leaning in intimately. I approached silently, my heart pounding so loudly I was sure everyone could hear it. "This explains the late meetings," I said, my voice surprisingly steady. Michael jerked back, his face cycling through shock, guilt, and finally settling on annoyance at being caught. Amanda had the decency to look embarrassed, gathering her purse and mumbling something about using the restroom. "Sarah, this isn't what it looks like," Michael began, using the same smooth tone he employed with difficult clients. "Really? Because it looks like you're having dinner with your girlfriend while your wife thinks you're working." The conversation that followed was surreal. Michael offered a half-hearted apology, claimed it was just physical, and had the audacity to blame me for his infidelity. "You've been so wrapped up in your little accounting projects," he said, lowering his voice as neighboring diners began to notice our tension. "You've become boring, Sarah, unambitious. When was the last time you made an effort in our marriage?" I left the restaurant alone, driving aimlessly for hours before returning home. Michael came back past midnight, offering promises to end the affair, suggesting counseling, even proposing a second honeymoon. For reasons I didn't fully understand then, I pretended to consider reconciliation. "I need time," I told him, which wasn't a lie. I needed time, not to forgive him, but to plan my next steps. The weeks that followed were a masterclass in deception on both our parts. Michael became temporarily attentive, bringing flowers, suggesting date nights, while I began consulting with divorce attorneys during my supposed meetings with clients. Rebecca Torres, a formidable divorce attorney recommended by Patricia, laid out the reality of my situation. "Tennessee is an equitable distribution state," she explained. "Without a prenuptial agreement, the court will divide marital assets based on what they deem fair, not necessarily equal." I learned about our financial entanglements, the complexity of divorcing someone with family money, and the importance of documenting everything. "Knowledge is power, especially in divorce," Rebecca said. My cautious information gathering came to an abrupt halt when Michael discovered my browser history on our shared computer. I had forgotten to use private browsing for one search: Tennessee Divorce Asset Division Process. His rage was immediate and frightening. He cornered me in our kitchen, waving his phone with the screenshot he'd taken. "Is this what you've been doing? Planning to divorce me and take my money?" His face was red, a vein pulsing